What's going on, guys? Back with another video, and today we are going to be doing a little bit of work on the 50 Shades of Grey, the Civic EK. It's a 96 coupe for you guys that don't know. Today we need to figure out what's going on with the car. If you watched the last video, you guys know that I have been driving this thing on the street. I got it street legalized, and now it is smoking between shifts when you let off the throttle and you're still in gear. And yeah, it's just not running very good. We need to figure out what it is. I'm pretty sure it is another cracked piston. So we're gonna do a quick compression check on it right now. It is hot because I just drove it back to the shop. So we're gonna start with that and go from there. But I really do think it is another cracked piston because we did have this thing turned up quite a bit, and it is seriously smoking like a friggin' freight train. So I went ahead and threw these spark plugs back in it and got everything rehooked back up. As you guys could see in the previous clip, we just did the compression check on all 4 cylinders. That is while the car is moderately hot and the throttle was open, all the stuff that everybody says you should do. Everybody's got a different answer. But anyways, it doesn't appear that it's got a cracked piston. Everything was between 135 to 150 PSI. And the last time it cracked a piston, it was downwards of like 70 PSI of compression. So it's pretty obvious if one is cracked. So yeah, that leads me to the next thing is either the turbo or something in the head is messed up, maybe a valve seal, something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna pull the exhaust pipe off it and see if there is oil down in the turbo. So we just got the turbo exhaust pipe off. I got it sitting right here, and I've looked into the turbo, looked in the backside of it, and honestly I'm not seeing anything there either. There doesn't appear to be any oil in the turbo and no shaft play. That doesn't mean it can't be the turbo still, but as far as I can tell, it's not. So yeah, I'm kind of lost right now. I don't really know what its deal is. It could be maybe a valve seal or something like that. And it still could be a cracked piston, but just from the compression numbers, it doesn't appear to be. So that's my next step. I'm going to pick up some valve seals. So like I just said, I ordered some valve seals. When they showed up, I went ahead and tore into the car and started putting them together. I did film some of this, but I don't know where the footage has gone. So I figured I'd just bring you guys up to speed real quick. So yeah, I started putting the valve seals in with the cylinder head on the motor. I didn't really feel like pulling it out, and then this happened. Well, unfortunately, I was an idiot and totally just, I f***ed everything up. As you can see right down here, I am missing a valve, and unfortunately it is down in the cylinder, because what had happened is I was getting ready to, or I put the new seals on, I hooked up the air and I turned up the air pressure a little bit, and I forgot, and I didn't realize it, but the motor had spun, so the cylinder was at top dead center, so if I pushed the valve down, it would just touch the top of the piston and it wouldn't go anywhere. Well, the air made the motor rotate over, the piston is at the bottom of its stroke, and I pushed down the valve to, just because I felt like it, I want to make sure it was seating and it was sliding nice. And I completely pushed it all the way down into the cylinder. So we're pulling the head off. I've already got everything kind of off already. Exhaust manifold, wiring, coolant hoses, all of that. So the last thing I need to do is untorque the head bolts and get this thing pulled off of here. Luckily, Brent over at PFI Speed has another head gasket, so I'm gonna go pick that up this evening, and hopefully tomorrow morning we will get this thing slammed back together. Well, we got the head off, and if you guys watch the channel, in one of the videos way back when, I think that I had mentioned that this block had a small crack in it. Not in the actual cast iron sleeve, but in the aluminum casing of that iron sleeve. And yeah, I think it's gotten slightly worse. There you can kind of see that crack. And it does actually go down about 1 inch into the bore. As you can see, that crack is not very good. I don't care though. I'm still gonna send it. I'm gonna go pick up a head gasket tonight from Brent at PFI and finish doing the valve seals on the head and just slap this thing back together. I'm so over it at this point that like I just don't care. So that's what we're gonna do. Slap it together. It's been like that pretty much since I built this motor the very first time, back when it only made 300 horsepower. So even if it is getting worse, I don't care. I'm still gonna run it. I don't exactly know where I left off in the last clip, but it is the following night. As you can see, it is dark outside. Today I did a bunch of work for my business, but now we're back working on the car. I met up with Jamie and Brent from PFI Speed, got this head gasket, and of course, right as I was getting ready to put this thing together, it appears that I misplaced one of the dowels. It is just like an adapter dowel that allows you to put a VTEC head on the LS block. Anyway, so you just go, they slide on one of these studs right here and right here on the exhaust side. But yeah, go figure, I misplaced one. So I broke out the lathe and we're gonna hop on that thing and machine out a new one real quick. Right now I've just got it kind of set up to drill a hole into this piece of aluminum stock I have here. That's the correct size for the dowel, or for the ARP head stud. So yeah, I'm gonna cut this hole real quick through this pipe, and then I will turn down the outside diameter to match this dowel. As you can see, there is a little bit of a step in it, so if this thing will focus, there's a little bit of a step there, and I just need to machine that and then turn down the outside to match. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this knocked out real quick, and we will finally be getting the car back together. Well, there you have it. The one that I machined is on the left and the old one is on the right. They're pretty identical and it fits perfectly. So it's time to get this thing put back together. As you can see there, it's nice and snug. No excessive movement there at all. And then as far as when it's on the block, it sits down in there nice and tight as well. So yeah, we're gonna get the dowel pins put in it and get the head gasket on there and then get this thing put back together. All right. Car is officially for sale. $3,000. Come load it up. Get it the f out of here. So went and got that head gasket from PFI, and it's the wrong head gasket. Not saying it's their fault or whatever. The box does say it's for a B18A LS VTEC, but it's not gonna work for what I'm doing. So I don't even know where we're at in this part of the video. It's gonna be all over the place because of the series of events that we have had. But it's been about 3 hours since the last clip. It's about 1 in the morning and I am ready to go home. I'm freaking tired. But I figured out the head gasket situation. It was the wrong head gasket. The box says it's the right head gasket, but I know for a fact it's wrong because a VTEC, a B18 LS block with a VTEC head, the dowels go on the exhaust side. That's how 90% of people do it. It's the easiest way to do an LSV build. And this gasket was not drilled or stamped, whatever, for the studs on the exhaust side. So I ended up just drilling them out. And before you guys say, oh, you pitched a big old fit over just drilling 2 holes, you don't realize how big of a pain in the ass it is to remount a hole in a MLS gasket. You don't just use a drill bit on it. You will totally mess up a freaking gasket doing that. So you have to use a reamer like this, and that's because it is a lot smoother of a cut because it has multiple cutting edges. And then once you do that, I had to cut the gasket apart like so here. You can see that it's missing the pop rivet here and the rivet here, and that is because I had to pull the gasket apart to clean up the inside of every single layer of the gasket, because even after using the reamer, it creates lips on the insides of these gasket layers, and that creates a bulge, so the gasket is thicker at that point. So anyways, had to take it apart, clean all those up by hand with a little ass file and a reamer, or a little deburring tool I have. And yeah, like I said, I've spent about 2.5 to 3 hours working on just 2 holes. So that's all I'm filming tonight. I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, it is the next day and I have collected myself. I'm not as pissed off today. I spent just a little bit more time this morning on the head gasket, getting it, the holes, you know, a little bit better for the alignment dowels. And we're getting ready to slap the head back on. So I got it all prepped over there, and we're gonna get that put on right now. Alright guys, I'm pretty dirty, as you can tell. It's been a couple hours since the last clip you just saw there. And well, the car's back together. And I didn't film much of it because the camera battery died and I was trying to rush this thing to get it back together to go to the drag strip tonight. But unfortunately, I just had a ton of little things that I wanted to touch up on the car that I haven't had time to. So I spent time doing those, and unfortunately we won't be going racing tonight, but there's always next week. I mean, we still got another couple months that the track is still open, so I'm not even worried about it. But yeah, we got the car back together. It seems to be running good, even with this hood-ass head gasket that we just put on it. I haven't drove it yet, but I have been letting it idle and warm up and get hot in the shop. So yeah, so far so good. I am just getting ready to take it out and go for a spin, and hopefully all is well. Well, the car seems to be doing good. We just came over here to the gas station. Gonna rinse it off real quick as it is a little bit dirty. I also need to rinse out the engine bay because there is some rocks and oil and some other stuff just all over in there. So yeah, we're gonna rinse it off real quick. I did do a quick little pull in the car, but obviously I can't shift and film and do all that at once. So unfortunately no pull videos, but yeah, we're gonna wash this thing down real quick and then we'll head home. As you guys just saw, we took the car over to the car wash and it ran pretty good. No head gasket issue or anything there. I ended up heading home with the car and I didn't film an outro, so that is what I'm doing right now. The car, like I said, seems to be running really good and we didn't have any issues with it until about a week later. And well, I'm just going to play the intro to the next video for you guys and maybe you'll understand what's going on now. No. Well guys, unfortunately the crack that I noticed in the beginning of this video, well, it wasn't no small problem because we're currently sitting in the parking lot with a cracked sleeve and no coolant in the motor. This is Garrett, a good buddy of mine here from Florida. Just hanging out. I was supposed to take him out for a rip tonight and that's not gonna happen. No. She done for. I was heading down the interstate and did a pull and all of a sudden a huge plume of smoke and coolant everywhere, and yeah, she ain't too happy. So I'm gonna try and drive it as far as home as I can on no coolant, and we'll see what happens, I guess.
Buy American.
Should have bought a V8. All right, you guys ready to hear this piece? Oh, nice check engine light. We gonna make it home, boys. Oh, turn, you old bitch. Let's go, baby. So yeah, like I was saying, car ran great for about a week and then that happened in the last clip. It's unfortunate, but I knew it was going to happen eventually, so I'm not really even hurt. We do have some big plans coming for the build, and I hope you guys are stoked for those as I am. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and a comment down below, and make sure you're subscribed. In the next video, we are going to be tearing the car apart and seeing what the heck happened, whether it was a sleeve, head gasket, or some other issue. But yeah, if you're not subscribed, you might miss that video, so make sure you are, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.